A few weeks ago, I took my daughter to her dance competition at a high school, a half-hour drive from home, for her solo performance. And it was different this time because my husband couldn't come. He had other responsibilities that needed his attention. It was the first time I had taken her to a competition without him, and I felt nervous. I felt like crying at the thought of going by myself because we've always done these competitions together, and facing it alone felt overwhelming. But with God's help, I did it. I prayed throughout the day for strength and for everything to go smoothly, especially when it started snowing in the middle of the afternoon. The temperature dropped, and the cold north wind made the weather even more intimidating. I was also anxious about driving through rush hour. Thankfully, God answered my prayers in a beautiful way. The traffic was much lighter than I had expected. We had a smooth drive all the way to the high school, and we made great time. We even arrived a little early. After helping my daughter find where she needed to check in and go to the dressing room, I was suddenly on my own, and that's when the loneliness really settled in. I found a seat in the auditorium, and I waited for her performance. I sat there, and as I did, I could feel the sadness and anxiety starting to take over. But instead of letting those feelings come in and consume me, I opened my Book of Mormon and I started to read. Something amazing happened. As I read, I felt the Spirit of God come upon me. And it wasn't dramatic or loud. It was gentle, but incredibly powerful. And a deep sense of peace filled my heart. The anxiety disappeared. The sadness melted away, and in its place came peace, love, and calm. I knew Heavenly Father was aware of me. I knew I wasn't alone, and I didn't feel alone at all, even though my husband wasn't sitting next to me. Sometimes God doesn't remove us from difficult situations. Instead, He walks with us. He helps us through them. At that time, I was reminded that when we turn to Him in prayer and seek His Word, He can replace fear with faith and anxiety with peace. I'm grateful that my daughter was able to perform her dance solo, and I'm grateful for the quiet testimony that I received while waiting in that auditorium. If you're facing something today that feels overwhelming, I hope you'll remember that God is aware of you too. He knows your fears. He hears your prayers, and He can fill your heart with a peace that the world simply cannot give. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.